Hit the music.
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City, and today I am dedicating this video to AEW. And the reason I'm doing it is because this week is the AEW Double or Nothing, or this Sunday, the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So we're going to be talking about AEW, the Go Home Show, some AEW news, and we're going to be talking about that. We're going to do a Double or Nothing preview, give you my thoughts on some of the matches they have. I mean, I did something similar, an AEW preview with my boy Jay Santee from the Turnbuckle Tabloid, and we pretty much gave our assessment of some of the matches that's going to happen. We already know what happened on pretty much on Wednesday on AEW Dynamite at the 3rd anniversary show, and pretty much set up some of the matches that we're going to watch on Sunday. So apparently I'm here today, and I was supposed to be at the House of Glory show tonight, but apparently I thought that the car wasn't going to be great, so I didn't bother to go. And pretty much I was a little upset because I know Jonah was going to make his HOG debut because they are planning to do, or they are doing a tournament for the House of Glory World title. The last person who had that belt was Anthony Gargone, and Anthony Gargone will be part of a event in Union, New Jersey on June 11th called Project Codename Exodus, and I will be sponsoring that. One of their matches is called Main Event Scramble, that will include TJ Marconi, Nikolai White, who else? Chris Barton, and a host of others. It's like 5 guys in the ring. So I will be hosting that. So guys, if you're in the New York area and you're hearing my voice right now, go support this. It's called Project Codename Exodus. It's going to be a great match. You're going to have Chris Cage, who's going to be a host of mine next week. He will be promoting that show. So check that out if you want. But like I said, tonight I should have been at the House of Glory, but eventually, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go. I didn't buy the tickets, so I've been here tonight doing this AEW video for you guys. Again, thanks for all the support. 200 subscriber already hit yesterday. I want to thank all those people who subscribe to my channel, who keep supporting the podcast, and I hope that you keep supporting in the future. So again, this episode is an AEW preview for the Double or Nothing, plus the AEW Dynamite review. So, and a host of other little bit of news here and there. So let's start it off. AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday had their 3rd anniversary show. And as you guys know, they started off at Double or Nothing in 2019. So tonight, not tonight, Wednesday night, they decided to do the 3rd anniversary show. And they started off the card with a steel cage match with Wardlow versus Spears as part of the agreement of MJF. If Wardlow beats Spears, he gets MJF for Double or Nothing. Well, this match, pretty much, you saw MJF's a special referee in this match, so you knew already that he was going to try to cheat his way out of this match. And of course, Wardlow came out with handcuffed with security. They kind of trying to compare him with Goldberg. Oh, it's like when Goldberg had security. Well, Goldberg, first of all, did not have handcuffs on him. That's number one. Number two, he's a better wrestler than Goldberg. So I could watch Wardlow anytime. I could watch all his matches. Okay? But the match started off with Wardlow going into the ring, and MJF was supposed to unhandcuff him. He didn't. He didn't take the cuffs off him. Instead, him and Spears decided to attack him. There was a 2-on-1 this match until MJF ended up spitting in the face of Wardlow. Wardlow got pissed off, broke the cuffs, and started working on Spears. Spears tried to make a little comeback, but just when Spears was about to get powerbombed, by Warlow. Here comes MJF, kicks him in the nuts. Spears goes, then hits the C4. Warlow got out of a fast count. Then Spears goes outside, brings in the chairs. And as soon as MJF was holding Warlow, Spears went to hit Warlow, instead hit MJF. And that pretty much set up for the Powerbomb Symphony that Warlow hit. And since the referee was knocked out, another referee came in and counted the 3 counts. So now we're going to have MJF versus Warlow in Double or Nothing. Afterwards, we saw Jericho hit someone in the back with a fireball. Now he's calling himself the Wizard. Not too crazy about this. Then we have the CM Punk and Hangman Page face-off with pretty much, I did not understand why they now telling us what's the reason that Hangman Page is defending the belt. Now, you figure they would have a storyline by this moment, and they didn't. They pretty much didn't have a storyline. They pretty much decided that out of nowhere, they're going to say the reason why Hangman Page wants to destroy CM Punk and whatnot. They went as far as say that Page wants to save CM Punk from AEW. Pretty much it looks like he feels that CM Punk is trying to jump the line and forget about the young talent. So that's what it looks like. So at the end, these two guys pretty much kept talking. At one point, CM Punk decided that he wanted to shake Hangman's Page. Instead, they started pushing each other. Hangman clubber CM Punk. CM Punk fell down, was laughing. So that's what you got. So that's what it was left over. Then we had Jon Moxley and Kingston versus Private Party. Not much to say of this match. Private Party trying to make a little comeback, but you had William Regal and you had Chris Jericho in the commentary area with the commentary crew. Not much to say, only that when after the match was over, where Moxley and Kingston won, then Jericho Appreciation Society came in 5-on-2. Then you had Santana Ortiz and Bryan Danielson come out. So it was a big 5-way brawl going on onto Jericho, and Danielson went in the ring, and you can see that Jericho was targeting the leg where Danielson got stuck between the ring and the ramp last week. So, I mean, they put it like he fell between. I still don't understand how did that happen, but that was one issue that happened last week with Danielson getting stuck in between the ramp and the ring. Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles were defended as FTR defended the belt against Roppongi Vice. This match was pretty good until a surprise tag team came in and attacked both teams. AEW is joining New Japan Pro Wrestling on June 26th to do the Forbidden Door. So, well, what better way to start that by dropping seeds of a match between the Great Khan and Jeff Cobb versus FTR, maybe for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team title. It could be a 3-way. You will add Roppongi Vice into the mix, and then you have the 3-way. So already Tony Khan, being the smart man that he is, already dropping seeds of a Forbidden Door match between Roppongi Vice, Great Khan, Jeff Cobb, and FTR. The Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles most likely will be on the line. Ricky Stark and Shane's Swerve Strickland, actually, that's Shane. I don't know why I said Shane. And Jungle Boy had a 3-way match, setting up the match for them and the 3-way tag team coming up on Sunday. This match was pretty good. Ricky Starks was shining in this match, and this was a very good match and whatnot. And pretty much ended up with Swerve Strickland winning the match. And after the great 3-way, here comes Powerhouse Hobbs, attacks Swerve. Then out Swerve out of nowhere, you see Luchasaurus comes in. Then you have who was the other guy who came out? I don't remember right now. I think Keith Lee came out. So there was a 3-way, and that's the way Powerhouse and Luchasaurus and Lee all joined and beating each other up. And you see Keith Lee and Swerve stand by themselves. Thunder Rosa did a little promo, just setting up her matchup with Serena Deebs. And then you have Toni Storm versus Britt Baker. This match was boring as hell. And I wondered, I don't know what's going on with Tony Storm, but Britt Baker and Tony Storm do not click at all. Because this match pretty much was not entertaining, even though Britt Baker beats Tony Storm with haters' help. But that's pretty much setting up her in the finals against the winner of tonight between Ruby Soho and Chris Stanlander. I wasn't not entertained with the Tony Storm. They didn't push this match with Storm and Britt Baker the way they were supposed to. You could see that Britt Baker, not for nothing, Britt Baker is over because the way her character is. But when it comes into the ring, she still looks a little bit out of place. And Tony Storm, I believe, I don't know, she doesn't look the same. She does not look the same. So I just don't understand. I just don't understand what's going on with AEW with this, but they should have pushed that better. Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly. This match was very, very good between these two. I was surprised that they gave the match to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe pretty much took out and blacked out Kyle O'Reilly with a chokehold. And then so it's the setup between Adam Cole and Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. That's going to be a first time ever between these two. So that's going to be cool if you like that stuff. Now, let me give you now the AEW Double Nothing preview. And I think the buyout will probably most likely, I think these going to be probably the first three matches, because they usually have three matches on the buyout. They're going to have Hookhausen, Danhausen, and Hook will be teaming up against Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. I can already see that Sterling is going to get tapped out by Hook. They're going to give something for Danhausen, because Danhausen a couple of weeks ago got beaten like nothing by Tony Nese. And this was a May 11th episode where I was there at the USB Arena. And I felt like they just play Danhausen on that one. So that'll be a match. I got Hookhausen winning that with probably Hook making Sterling tap out, whatever. Then we're going to have a match that kind of threw me off. AEW TBS Women's Championship. Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. And I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't she beat Anna Jay already? So I don't know what's the deal with that. But I got Jade Cargill winning that match with no problem. The House of Black versus Death Triangle. I still see House of Black winning that for the simple fact that Julia Hart will be getting involved in that match. So lights might go out, whatever, and she's going to come out, and you're going to think that she's going to help the Death Triangle, and she's going to probably turn on the Death Triangle, and the House of Black may get this match. The Hardy Boys versus the Young Bucks. This match is 5 years too late when it comes to it, because I already seen this match. I saw this match back in Manhattan Mayhem in 2017 at the Hammerstein Ballroom. And AEW is trying to give you something that it's not going to entertain anybody. For the simple fact, these guys are 5 years older. They're not the same wrestlers they were back in 2017. And it's not going to be entertaining. Not to me. I don't know about everybody else. I don't know what these marks out here wants to see that match. But I don't know why they're trying to give that. Because, that's not something I want to watch. But it's in the card. I'll see how it goes. But I think they're going to give this time. Most likely they're going to have probably the Young Bucks beat the Hardys in this one. Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society will be going against each other, and this includes Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz in an Anarchy in the Arena. I personally don't care about this match, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Anarchy in the Arena has been happening in the last couple of weeks in AEW. Don't we always see a match that either is a lights out match, they're always fighting in the crowd, whatever, and it just becomes annoying after a while, because it's like, I'm like, why do we have to see this every week? And now they're trying to put it again in a pay-per-view, but calling it differently. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Anarchy in the Arena. I mean, we could probably see Jericho's team win this one, probably because of a fireball. Because now Jericho is a wizard. He's a wizard. Guys, he's a wizard. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I really don't know. So it's just, I don't know. I really don't. It just has me bugging out. I mean, even though I think I would like the Blackpool Combat Club, along with Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, beat Jericho, but I still think that most likely we will see either if the Blackpool Combat Club wins, it's because Jericho will try to throw a fireball and he's going to burn himself up, or he's going to throw a fireball at somebody and take him off. They already threw one to Eddie Kingston, so we might see that. Or we might see the Blackpool Combat Club, get fed up with Eddie Kingston and Danielson. They'll walk out and leave these guys by themselves. But it won't make no sense in a way, because now you got Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful feuding with the Blackpool Combat Club, and then what happens to Jericho's storyline. So we'll see. MJ versus Warlord. This one is a hard one, and the reason I say it's a hard one, it's because number one, because if MJF wins, then what happens to Warlord? Warlord still is on the contract, and the whole storyline here of MJF beating, or actually Warlord getting out of his contract, is beating MJF so MJF can let him go. So with the situation with MJF, with him feuding with Tony Khan or whatever, the news has been going on for weeks about him not happy in AEW, and me and Jay were talking about this. It could be a punishment done to MJF, and they'll make him lose, because let's be realistic. I feel that could happen. It could happen, and the next thing you know, he's taken out. He loses the match, and then Warlord gets a new contract. Most likely, they'll probably do there once he wins. Tony Khan will sign him right away. So we'll see. We'll see. The next match will be Britt Baker versus the winner of Ruby Soho or Chris Stanlander. I think Britt Baker is going to win the finals of the Owen Hart, for the simple fact that I think they're going to do the same thing with Adam Cole. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But I can see Britt Baker winning this match. I don't see Ruby Soho or Chris Stanlander winning this. But Britt Baker is the face of the Women's Revolution in there, or whatever you want to call it, in the in AEW. I mean, even though you got Thunder Rosa as the champion, but Britt Baker is the woman right there that is running everything in there. So I could see that happening. After that, you're gonna have the Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, and I see Adam Cole winning this because Jay Lethal will get, and Sanjay Dutt will get involved in this match and cost Samoa Joe on winning the Owen Hart Cup. I mean, I'll be surprised if Samoa Joe wins, but if Britt Baker wins it, I guarantee you one thing though, that you're gonna have Adam Cole win it, and they'll be like the power couple in there. So we'll see about that. The AEW Tag Team Title is a three-way, of course, like I said earlier. Jurassic Express versus Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, and Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Let me put it this way. And we all been seeing what Christian has been doing. Christian wasn't in the corner of Jungle Boy this week, but we could see Christian Cage turning on Mr. Jungle Boy. He's going to cost him the match. And now, who's going to win those tag team belts? I believe that Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs could win those tag team belts for the simple fact that, they'll be you can't give it to Keith Lee and Swerve because these guys are WWE guys. You know what's going to be the complaint. The complaint is, they gave the belts to WWE guys. And Swerve and Keith Lee wins that. So they're going to give it to the team that's been around AEW for a while. That's going to be probably, I'm going to give it to Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks to win the AEW Tag Team titles, making the Taz faction a little stronger. Now they're holding two belts, even though one of the belts, FTW, doesn't really mean nothing because the FTW has not been sanctioned by AEW. And I still to this day, I don't understand how we have a guy holding a belt that doesn't mean shit. The FTW belt. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. So that is something to watch. We'll see. I still think that Christian is going to turn on Jungle Boy, and then Luchasaurus is going to go after him, and one of these guys are going to get somebody's going to get pinned. But it's not going to be probably the Jurassic Express, but I feel that most likely Christian is going to turn on Jungle Boy. It's happening. It's already it's written on the walls if you think about it. The next match, Serena Deebs with versus Thunder Rosa. That is, I don't see Deebs beating Thunder Rosa for the simple fact that when Thunder Rosa was the NWA World Champion, Deebs beat her. I believe was in one of AEW Dynamite shows. So now it's going to be Thunder Rosa's revenge. It's going to be probably a great match because these two got great chemistry in the ring. But I see Thunder Rosa remaining the champion for the simple fact that this will be probably her third title defense. And she hasn't had a lot of title defense. I mean, she beat Britt Baker, and then she had the Nyla Rose match, which she beat at the Battle of the Belts. And now this will be her second title defense. So it will make no sense to take the belt away from her. I think so AEW needs to build up that damn women's division. I mean, you got Ruby Soho. You're not doing nothing with her. Chris Stanlander, you on and off with her. Nyla Rose, I'm tired of seeing Nyla Rose in title matches. I really am. I'm tired of seeing Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose shouldn't be getting no more freaking title matches. Now you got Toni Storm. Toni Storm right now don't look like the same Toni Storm that I saw in NXT UK. She's better than that. And when she was in NXT, not the same woman. Not the same woman. So if Tony Khan and AEW wants to make the women's division better, they need to do something because this is like 3 years and you still don't have that division on point. You don't. It's just ridiculous. The Hangman Page versus CM Punk match, that one, I got to say, that's a little hard, but I think Hangman Page will retain the belt. And this is a prediction I said to Jay Santee and the Turnbuckle Tabloid on Tuesday. Do not be surprised if Kenta shows up and interferes in CM Punk's match, because these two has been going on for the last 8 years through Twitter, and it wasn't long ago, October of last year, when Kenta won the United States IWGP belt. He called out CM Punk. The only reason you haven't heard from Kenta is because Kenta got hurt at Wrestle Kingdom against Hiroshi Tanahashi in a ladder match. He busted his whole front. It was a mess. I think he even pulled a hamstring, something. He was injured. He's been out for almost 5-6 months. Do not, and I repeat, do not be surprised if you see Kenta out of nowhere show up and hit the GTS on CM Punk and cost him the match. It sets up a Forbidden Door match between these two. It's bound to happen. So that is my preview actually of my Double or Nothing. That's what I think is going to happen. I hope you enjoyed it. So now I'm going to go and give you some more news, little stuff going around. First of all, before I continue, the Lance Archer wants Suzuki Gun to face off against House of Black. You know how awesome that match will be? Lance Archer versus Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, it will be a match for the ages. And I can see AEW do it in New Japan. Because AEW, one thing I can say about AEW, I've been very critical on them for the last couple of months, is that they've been giving dream matches. Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly, that was a dream match. I mean, I don't know if they ever faced each other at NXT. I highly doubt it. But that match was good. You had not long ago, I believe, you had the FTR brothers going at not FTR brothers, but FTR partners going at it. So they've been giving good matches. Minoru Suzuki against Samoa Joe, that was another dream match. But the way they ended it, it was just stupid. But they've been doing the dream matches. So if you want Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Zack Sabre Jr. against the House of Black, that's a freaking dream match itself. So I'm all for it. Tony Khan open to Killer Kross coming to AEW. Killer Kross right now is still a free agent. He was wrestling in New Japan. He was the the last New Japan show that they had, I forgot the name of it, but I know it was not long. He fought Minoru Suzuki in that match, which was fun. So that was cool. Watching Killer Cross and Minoru Suzuki go at it, which is cool. Colt Cabana signed with AEW, but he'll be doing the earmark for Ring of Honor, so he'll be with Ring of Honor. And speaking of Ring of Honor, they pretty much, Tony Khan is looking for a streaming company service so they could do the TV shows. But I won't be surprised if they do with Fight TV, because Fight TV had the TV shows before Ring of Honor went under, or they stopped operation, whatever you want to call it. But don't be surprised if Fight TV picks it up again and puts weekly shows and the pay-per-views like they did before. So I mean, it'll be cool to see that. So that'll be real cool. New Japan Pro Wrestling addresses the frustration from Kota Ibushi to remain under New Japan Pro Wrestling contract. In the press conference held by New Japan Pro Wrestling President Takami Obari said, "I would now like to take a moment to explain the series of events that led up to the aforementioned post. The extent of our current understanding. Kota Ibushi is a wrestler exclusively contract by New Japan Pro Wrestling. As such, is understood that in order to devote full attention to New Japan matches associated event, he is required to inform and receive express permission from New Japan Pro Wrestling before outside interference. On March 4th, in breach of the term of his contract, Mr. Ibushi made an appearance seconding wrestler at a Just Tap Out event. The aforementioned official is responsible for contacting various wrestlers contracted to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but also had a long personal history." So, with that being said, I believe that this is what led off to a lot of the back and forth with the Twitter situation, where you saw they looked like they want. He's telling the higher ups, "If you want to fire me, you go ahead, fire me. I do not care." So he said that he received a report that Ibushi had intentions to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling and contacted Ibushi on March 31st to discuss the matter. After receiving Mr. Ibushi's explanation, I reprimanded him, remind him that he was a breach of his contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling, as well as breach of licensing agreement we hold with other companies. Mr. Ibushi sincerely apologized for his action. Mr. Ibushi's penalty for his breach was limited to a reprimand as on a hearing. So it looks like he pretty much did something wrong. He breached the contract, and he went back and forth with the higher ups, and then he got reprimanded for that. After Ibushi's tweet regarding his frustration and his mother attempting suicide, New Japan held a countermeasure meeting, including legal personnel, to discuss the best course of action. As a result, there has been no formal announcement from the company on this matter until this time. However, yesterday, myself and the company owner, Mr. Taki Kidani, were able to meet with Mr. Ibushi and discuss this statement to you here, as well as our opinions on the matter. Before proceeding, I would like to once again sincerely apologize to the fans of the concern caused by the series of events. So it looks to me that this was all done by Kota Ibushi for the simple fact that he breached the contract. He showed up at a Tap Out event, and without letting New Japan Pro Wrestling know, and plus he was probably having personal issue. His mother tried to attempt suicide. So there's a lot. It's a lot of things going on with him. But it's crazy. It is very crazy with that. But what else is new? That's it. Also, real quick, WWE was forced to move their Money in the Bank event from a stadium to an arena. The word is because of low ticket sales. Am I surprised about this? No. I mean, after the bullcrap that happened last week with the Naomi and Sasha Banks situation and whatnot, you would think that WWE would do something right. But of course, I mean, I didn't get to talk about this last week, and it was when I said that Naomi wasn't going to get punished. Well, apparently she got punished. She got suspended and stripped off the belt. So now her and Sasha Banks are suspended indefinitely. They have no plans for them to come back on TV. And they had the nerve and the audacity last Friday to have Michael Cole say that the Naomi and Sasha Banks kind of let the fans down. When in reality, word came in that John Laurinaitis knew that these women have left the building after dropping the belts in it, and he never told this McMahon until the 1 hour after the show was about to start. So, this jackass decided that, he wasn't going to say nothing to save his freaking neck. He's an ass kiss of a McMahon. So to make Sasha Banks and Naomi look bad. So now they were stripped off the belt, plus suspended indefinitely. Naomi went and pretty much took out everything that was mentioned with WWE. She's now using Naomi Fatu now in Twitter. So this situation has gotten real ugly. And then there's words around talking about that most likely there's a lot of wrestlers who would like to do the same thing that Naomi and Sasha Banks did, walk out. But WWE likes to hold these wrestlers hostage because of the contract. I mean, I believe this is going to come back and bite them in the ass sooner or later, because you cannot continue to do this and think you could get away with it and there's no repercussions for it. So, and this is not the first time that wrestlers have walked out, because you had Tony Storm who left, and then that report came in that they wanted her to do a segment where Charlotte Flair was going to strip her down to her panties. So that was like, I'm not surprised, And then Jeff Hardy leaving, and they accuse him of using drugs and that he was high. What was in a match turned out that was not true. They felt stupid. So WWE right now, them moving that event from Money in the Bank from a stadium to an arena, and now supposedly the day of the Money in the Bank, they're going to go head to head with a UFC event. And Tony Khan was the one who told Dana White today, when they were having a meet and greet or whatever with Tony Khan's father in Vegas. He told him WWE is putting a show on the same night you guys are doing it. So, I mean, I don't know what to say, but I'll tell you this much: it's just stupidity at its best. At its best, you can't ask for anything else. They don't learn. WWE does not learn, and they're never gonna learn. McMahon don't give a rat's ass. They don't. You know what I'm saying? So, it is word also that the brand split may be over now that the Usos has both tag team belts, plus Roman Reigns has both world titles, or the Universal title and the world title. I don't know what they're gonna do. So this is why I don't really bother. I just give you little bits and pieces of WWE because it doesn't bother. It's not worth it. Anyway, this is the end of my video today. I want to thank everybody who pretty much has been subscribing to my channel. We hit the 200 mark in the subscriber in the channel. I want to give thanks to those who support it, who continue to support. Again, like I told you guys, I will be part of the project codename Exodus. I will be sponsoring that event and a main event scramble, which includes Chris Barton, Nicholas White, TJ Marconi, Anthony Gargone, and a couple of others. So I will be there at Union, New Jersey on June 11th. So definitely it's going to be a great card. You're going to have Chris Cage in there having his wrestling match there. It's going to be a cool, the way I'm looking at the card looks good. So I want to check that out. We're going to have our Chokeslam Wrestling Report, a couple of merchandise, the table and all that stuff. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be a good experience for me to check that out. So again, everybody, you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm mostly on Twitter, posting stuff and all that stuff. So check me out there. You can also follow me. Also, you can also listen to this on the audio version on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, Stitcher, and any major audio podcasts or platforms that you guys like to listen to your show. So check that out. Also, if you guys want to go to my merchandise store, you go to tcwr.veryinc veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. You get a shirt just like this with the logo like this. And I got other t-shirts in there. I got hoodies and hats. So you can go check that out. Again, if you're in the New Jersey area on June 11th, go check out Project Codename Exodus on Union, New Jersey, and check it out. I think bell time starts at 6:30. I think the show starts at 6:30, so go and support that. Next week, I will have Chris Cage on my show, so guys, check that out. It's coming, and he will be definitely promoted that show that I'm talking about. So until then, guys, be safe, be well, and I will talk to you guys next week.